Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Minecraft. It is episode 99. Can you believe it? I certainly can't. And I would like to apologize again. I seem to be doing that a fair bit recently, but it's always good to apologize. It's always good to know your faults as a person, you know? Such as being a tiny bit injury prone, you know, relating to that. I don't know. It's not that I am that, you know. I haven't really had that many injuries, like physical injuries to my body recently. I think like recently I remember like for a bit I had like I think I got done playing basketball, I think. Like, and by playing basketball, just like shooting just on a rim in a parking lot. And I think like my arm, like I did just one time, like a few months ago, like my arm and my shoulder just started feeling really sore, I guess. And I think I was like trying to play through that. And I think like another time, another time like a couple years ago, I remember when like I would go out and like it was during the summer. I would like go out and my shins, my like ankles would start hurting, like just buzzing. Like I don't know, like not like actual like I can't walk, but like they would start like I don't know, like getting a tiny bit freaking like achy, like after just like moving around for 20 minutes. I don't know if that's good or not, but you know, I would like to apologize for again not getting one of these out. I said I wanted Tree out in September, right? Or like Tree out in October. I only managed 2 or 1. I only managed 1. It's fine, okay? Look, man, there's gonna be plenty of time to record these in November, okay? Yeah, so I don't know. I would like to announce, by the way, that, you know, in order to curb this, I have put myself on a sort of plan, you know? I'm gonna take strategic periods of rest between recordings so that I know I can be truly ready and perform when I need to the most for the channel. So I have this plan. That I'm gonna rest, you know? I'm gonna take a lot of days off, more than I usually would, because of this, right? I'm gonna try to do my best, and it's a strategy so that when the time comes to record a Let's Play and I need to be good and my voice needs to be good, because that's also another thing too, right? I feel like it's somewhat clear the fact that my voice just frickin' gets like a million times more scratchy if I go for half an hour, which is weird. Like, I don't know. Maybe I should just drink LaCroix freaking periodically and not cut it. Like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It just like gets really scratchy like this, like by the end of like half an hour. It's like, how do people do it, man? I guess they regularly sip water, but it's like, I don't know. I have LaCroix, man. Maybe that has its own issues. So I'm developing a plan. I'm going to take periods of rest off. I'm not going to do back-to-back recordings. You know, I'll probably never do that for the rest of my career. I'm going to try to preserve my health first for the playoffs, I guess, which is, you know, when I need to record the most. I guess the playoffs would be, I don't know, the most important times of the year when I want to record. That probably would be the summer, because that'd be when I'd be the most free. But, you know, yeah, I'm just letting you know, if I freaking take time off, if there's a recording in the future where like, he really does not have it, you know, just know that I'm conserving myself. And I'm trying to see if this is a thing that can work, because I do not want to be unfairly judged for not performing in these freaking high stakes recordings. I don't want to have it be that, you know, the time comes for, you know, a high stakes important recording and then I underperform, and I underperform because I didn't rest enough or my voice wasn't there, you know. I don't want that to happen, so I just have to freaking, you know, take these periodic amounts of rest. I need to do it, okay? I'll see how it works, you know. I have like a co-star. I'm thinking of adding a co-star, but like I feel like they have the also similar problems of like they need to manage their own like health and injury history, so it's like, I don't know, it's a lot to deal with, okay? Oh man, I guess I do not need to explain what that intro is about, man. But before I get to what that was referring to, the WNBA finals. Yeah, I totally missed the freaking rest of the WNBA playoffs. Okay, so the Liberty beat the Aces in the second round, and that was a huge thing because, you know, yeah, the Aces beat the Liberty in the finals of the WNBA last season. Is the thing. Chelsea Gray like limping onto the freaking court and like dumping her crutches in the celebration in the freaking big ass pile up. You know, the Aces getting to celebrate in New York and them being, you know, their authentic selves was great. But yeah, the WNBA finals this year was between the New York Liberty and the Minnesota Lynx. And yeah, the Minnesota Lynx were kind of like somewhat, I don't know. I don't think they were the most surprising team. I think like I'd assume people who knew about the WNBA knew that they'd be a really good team, but I don't think many people were thinking that they would be a finals team. That they literally would be in the finals and they would freaking give the Liberty everything they got. So I guess I should, like, macro, should I go outside? Chapter 1. Chapter 1. Did you know that women can play basketball too? I did not know that. I don't know, until friggin' recently. Apparently some people didn't know that either, but you know, it's fine. Some people didn't know that until there was this girl from Iowa. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying what I'm thinking. But yeah, the Liberty and the Lynx had a series. It went 5 games, which is the max amount a WNBA final series can go. But Cathy Engelbert, the commissioner for the WNBA, has announced that starting next season, which is also the season the Golden State Valkyries get introduced, and their head coach they selected for that franchise is Natalie Nakase. I would assume like a Japanese American woman who was an assistant coach on the coaching staff of the Las Vegas Aces. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, she was the head coach pick for the Valkyries. Hopefully I don't know what's gonna happen with that expansion draft. Yeah, they're gonna get added to the WNBA in 2025 and then in 2026, I think. Either, yeah, like the next 2 teams after the Valkyries that are gonna come into the league via expansion are a team in Toronto and then a team in Portland. So yeah, that's cool. Like those both make sense. You know, I kind of wish San Diego would be a potential area, but I guess they, you know, I don't know. I guess it's fine. They already have. They're gonna have 3 California teams already. So, anyways. Oh man, yeah, Cathy Engelbert announced that the WNBA finals is gonna increase to 7 games, just like the NBA. And probably as it should have been. Like, I don't know, I asked that on Twitter like a year ago. I'm like, why can't it be 7 games? Like I don't know, for the finals it can't be 7 games. Maybe there's like financial things to it, I don't know. But it is a good thing that they are at 7 games. Oh yeah, I forgot that. Yeah, I've been playing this a little bit in the recent days, and I guess I should take a small detour. I'll get back to the WNBA finals, but small detour. Yeah, look at that, man. Look at that. Look at the speed at which I just switched games. I just switched from an Xbox One game to an Xbox 360 game. Like that. I'm sure you can assume that there's a reason I'm showing this off, but you know. And look at this. I'm gonna hope to God this works, please. I'm playing Starfield. Apparently it got mixed reviews on Steam and frickin', you know, people don't like it, but you know, I liked it when I played it. Oh man, I'm in the middle of doing like the final kind of quest line for it. This is my first time playing it in like frickin' like 10 months basically. The last save, the last save, I think if I can bring it up, the last time I played it was December frickin' 21st 2023. Oh man. So yeah, I like this game. It's a cool game. I don't know. I think I guess it's fine if people don't like it, but it's definitely better than Fallout 76. I'll give it that, right? It's definitely better than that game. And let me see, please. Oh no, it can't. Wow, it can't. As soon as I switch to Starfield, it just can't. Yeah, it's just a miracle that I can play this disc on this new fancy new device I have, okay? That's not that similar to the console I had previously. But, you know, it is nice that I can just play and switch between these games, like, really fast, you know? I guess if I play a series, like a current freaking gen freaking game, I can't freaking be in there as often. But yeah. It's not like I was doing anything anyway in the game, so that's a cool thing I just wanted to show off. Oh my, oh, come on, man. Oh, that's probably helpful, yeah. I did not explain this thing. Oh, man. I'm kind of all over the place. I kind of want to be all over the place since I haven't recorded in a while, so I guess. Okay, to explain this, I guess, like, I'm thinking that for a gameplay thing that I want to do, I might probably just do all of this, a bunch of this off camera, but maybe when I record a Let's Play in this world, I'm going to hollow this stuff out. Because, like, I guess I want to expand my freaking residence that I created here when I was freaking 15 years old. That's how old this world is. I want to expand this residence, and I want to expand it, like, down to that ground level. Yeah, so that's basically a big project, but I don't know. That's probably not going to be that freaking relevant, so... anyways, the WNBA Finals, yeah, it lasted 5 games. The New York Liberty have won their first title in franchise history, which is a really fun thing. You can tell that it meant a lot to Breanna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu, and Sabrina Ionescu in the deciding game 5, like, had like a horrific shooting night. She just had oh my god, she just went like 1 for 19. Just absolutely just horrific, man, that shooting. But you know, Breanna Stewart also didn't have that good of a game, but she hit after missing 2 free throws late in the game after the Lynx took the lead, because the whole game 5 was a rock fight. It was so low scoring. Like, it was like the third quarter, and even if there was only like 10 minutes per quarter, the score was like in the 30s for each team. So yeah, Breanna Stewart, after missing 2 free throws when the Lynx took the lead, there was a foul called, albeit, you know, a lot of people thought it was controversial. Cheryl Reeve, the head coach of the Lynx, straight up said the Lynx were robbed and the game was stolen from us, and you know, meaning the championship was stolen from us, you know. Yeah, so like that happened, and then from that foul call, from that controversial foul call, it sent Breanna Stewart back to the free throw line. She makes both. She sends the game to overtime, and then that's when the Liberty win it. So, you know, there you go. That's basically the recap of Game 5. And then in Game 3, the first game in Minnesota, at the end of that game, Sabrina Ionescu hit a freaking deep 27-footer from tree to basically ice the game.
Ionescu will heave and hit and hit! Sabrina Ionescu with the biggest shot in Liberty history!
So I think her bad shooting night in Game 5 can be excused a little bit. I think it can. Oh man, there's some comments on social media being like, oh god, this is it's like, okay, alright, it's fine, man, it's fine. I just like that this WNBA Finals was for the fans, as in the people who actually appreciate and want to watch women's basketball, and not are just lashing onto it because of the newfound attention. just because like, oh, that girl from Iowa, you know, is like in the league, so I'm gonna have to watch it, you know. Yeah, like it excised all the Barstool-esque kind of fandom from the WNBA with this finals, and that was really good. Even though, you know, there's like reports of like the WNBA is still losing money even after all this growth. But like the thing is, like, you can't. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. The numbers, the WNBA as a league is growing though. Like, that's the thing. It's also like a thing that the WNBA just needs the appropriate freaking tools in order to grow, you know. They need, you know, like national TV games, like they need the like games on like networks, you know, on like ABC, right? Like that would like kind of help the viewership, right? Like I would assume like merch sales, right? Like merch sales went up exponentially this year, right? Like it's like that's the thing. It's a process. That's the thing, man. I don't know. I guess you have to trust it. I don't know. I don't know where I've heard that from, but yeah. God, yeah. Like, yeah, I guess, I don't know. I guess for me, I don't necessarily know how to, react to when I see like a Reddit thread being like, yeah, the WNBA is still like losing money, it's like, look, I mean, look, man, but that's the thing, but is it growing? Is it growing as a product? Are more people becoming interested in it in a genuine way? It's like, yes, like I would like to believe so. It's a nice thing, hopefully. I've talked about the WNBA a little bit more than I did last year, right? And I hope like that I can become more and more freaking accustomed to the league, right? Because I would like to think have proved myself to be a general fan of just basketball as a game in general, no matter if men play it or women play it. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I would like to think that I'm shaking off the freaking male basketball viewer who enters into trying to watch women's basketball, and I'm like, it's just so boring. Like, where the hell is the dunks? Where are the dunks, man? Why can't we just? It's like, please, man. It's like, come on. Yeah, it's fine, man. This WNBA Finals was for like the fans, I guess, of it, and I would assume it's nice that you get to see an original WNBA franchise that was there since the league's inception in the New York Liberty win a championship after 28 years, right? And Teresa Witherspoon, who was a player for the Liberty and was the head coach of the Sky until recently, got to see it, and Jason Sudeikis got to see it because he's a big women's basketball fan. It's good. It's fine. That's the thing. We I don't know. Yeah. I guess that's the thing, like a major theme of the season is like, what does growing the game in terms of the WNBA actually mean? What should it mean, I don't know. I would like for it to mean more people interested in the game in general. I would like it to mean more people just not watching it for Caitlin Clark only. I would like for it to mean more people just being interested in the players and the goings on and wanting to learn of, just as they would about the NBA. I would like to think that. I would like to think that's what growing the game means. I would, hopefully, I mean, I'm not looking for any sort of recognition or anything, obviously not, but I don't know. I guess within myself, I mean, I in the future would like to pay more attention to the WNBA. I myself am someone who enjoys basketball, man. I don't know. Again, I've said it before, but yeah, it's been kind of a major team of my 20s until now. And yeah, another small update. I got another year older. I have turned 24, sadly. Not so sadly though. I don't know. I keep it's always like being ironic. It's like I'm so old, but look, I am mostly grateful that I get to be this age, okay? Until I turn freaking 30. Yeah, there's a really good tweet. I wonder if did I read that tweet? There's a tweet I read that said I can't believe when I was 21 I thought that being 25 or 26 was old, and then and I turned 25 or 26, and then no, that's what being 32 is. Being 32 is being really old. It's just gonna keep on shifting, right? And then when I'm 31, and when I'm 31, I'm just gonna be yeah, being freaking 40 is kind of old. And then I'm gonna turn 40. I don't know. It's yeah. Hopefully it just works like that, okay? Oh man. So yeah, basically, the WNBA Finals, it was a time, yeah, I guess, recapping Game 1, yeah, the Liberty were leading most of the game, and then the Lynx had a comeback in overtime. And then, yeah, the opposite, I guess, of Game 5, yeah. Man, yeah, the Lynx won game 4, the Liberty won game 2. That was the easiest game for the Liberty to win. Yeah, game 3 was the Sabrina Ionescu game winner game. And then, yeah, game 5 was the one they won it. Yeah. So basically, yeah, that was the WNBA finals. A good thing, you know. Really happy for just, the team. I rooted for the Liberty, if you couldn't tell. Even though, like, the Lynx are a cool story, right? Nafisa Collier, Natasha Heidemann, Bridget Carlton, Elena Smith, you know, like those players. Like, you look at that team, yeah, Courtney Williams, right? Well, you look at that team and it's like, it's such a, they all look like they're like oddballs, you know. They all look like very like they don't look how like a traditional basketball team looks in a good way, you know. They're the quirky freaking like team, you know. Like their celebration after games in their home arena is that they freaking all like get together get together and freaking do a line dance on their home court. It's like, come on, man. It's like, that's pretty cool. Like, that is pretty cool, man. And I'm already straying away from freaking doing the thing I want to do. Goddamn. This is why it's not going to get done. This is why it's going to mostly be done off camera. But it'll be easier since this is my one-stop freaking console for next gen games. You know, I still have my Series S. Yeah, I guess I don't need to say that I got a Series X because, you know, I've been spending way too much money on video games and it's sad and depressing. But I guess in the future I won't be spending that much money on video games. Oh yeah, by the way, man, here's a teaser for, you know, something to come. Man, please. Hopefully I can play it like the night it comes out. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. But yeah, a teaser for what's to come. And hopefully, there you go. Oh man, that's so good, man. That's so freaking good. And this console has a disk drive, you know. I can freaking put discs in because that was the main thing. Way back when I first got the Series S, when I was thinking of upgrading to one of those next gen Xbox consoles, you know, I don't know. I really do not want to spend more money on video games, guys. I have spent too much freaking money on video games, man. Too much money, man. I don't know, man. I want to spend all this money on freaking books, okay? I do. Like, that's like the second most you know, thing I spend the money on other than like food and transportation. Yeah, because, you know, I have to pay a little bit. I have to pay a good amount for that in my life. But, you know, it's like, yeah, I've just spent way too much. So if I were to think about maybe getting a PlayStation 5, not because I'm definitely not getting that freaking PS5 Pro, man, Jesus. Freaking 700 and there's no disc drive. 700, the disc drive is sold separately, the stand is sold separately. It's like, okay, all right. But I don't know, man. It's like, I don't know. I really do not want to be spending this much money on video games, and then I just keep on doing it, man. But anyways, back when I was thinking about getting one of these next gen consoles, and then I ended up getting both. I don't know what I'll do with my Series S. Maybe I will try selling it on eBay. Maybe I will. Probably not, but maybe. Just like, you know, will the Nuggets win a championship this year? Probably not, but maybe. Will they even make the finals this year? Probably not, but maybe. Will they have a team where they're not going to have to rely on Jokic having to carry them because they because they let KCP go in free agency, and they're relying on their young players of Julian Strawder and Peyton Watson, and they're not yet ready, but they want to develop those guys anyway, and freaking Jamal Murray is still somewhat of a question mark with how he performed with Team Canada, and it's like, look, man, probably not, but maybe. Okay. Man. Will I continue this series on this world forever? Probably, but maybe not. There you go. It's just nice. It's just nice that I have this console, man. I did not pay full price from it. I got it on eBay. That's the thing. I'm not spending full price for these things. I'm looking for the lowest possible price. That doesn't sacrifice it not working, you know. That doesn't sacrifice the big concession of the product not functioning. So like I paid 370 something if I want to be very freaking transparent, but it was like 350 before taxes. So you know, look man, God, I'm sorry. I don't know, I feel like I have to apologize for spending money on video games. It's like I don't know, like I don't want to be seen as someone who just only plays video games, man. I don't know, like I'm more proud of the books I've collected than freaking the video game consoles I own, obviously. Like that's kind of the change from my teenage years to my 20s, obviously, you know, as someone who enjoys writing and views that as a thing, one of their biggest freaking passions, right? It's like, well, I'm sorry man, I don't know, but you can have multiple freaking things, man. I understand you can have multiple passions, but yeah. Oh man, I guess what again, I got sidetracked again. I was thinking of getting the Series X originally in 2022. I think I had maybe not the most amount of funds for it, but like I could have splurged and freaking got it. I could have got it at that time, and I think they were being sold for like around 400, not at market value of 500. So like, oh man, yeah. Originally in 2022 I was thinking of it, but then I got the cheaper Series S instead, and then I don't know, I guess oh man, things change, man. I don't know. I would like to say I don't need to prove it I mean, it's not that it's freaking a thing I need to prove to anyone, just to myself, but you know, I do have an amount of money saved up. I do have an amount of money that I've counted as money I've saved and that I'm not gonna touch in the foreseeable future. Okay, I do. That's a thing. Oh man, does Gen Z have a financial management problem? We've studied Gen Z and we've learned that in addition to not liking sex scenes, they also are not good at managing their money. So what can be done about this? Honestly, what can be done about this? Oh man, Gen Alpha doesn't read, man. It's like, oh man, okay, all right. There's like the professors on Twitter being, I instead of a professor, I have become a human AI detector. It's like, okay, I understand that it is shitty that freaking that's how students are nowadays. I would like to think that like most of the people I go to school with aren't like that, but yeah, man, you know, I just don't like, I don't know, just again, I guess this episode is gonna be full of tangents because I haven't done one in a while, but I don't know. Like, I just have too much pride in my writing ability to freaking ever use AI to help me do a writing assignment. I don't know. Like, I don't know why other people don't have that too, right? It's like, look, the professor wants to hear your words. Like, yeah, I understand that, you know, but I do also question, like, if you're a professor at a university, why are you on Twitter? Like, I'm not saying you shouldn't be on Twitter, but like questioning like why are you on Twitter if you're a professor? Whenever I hear like see tweets where they're like my students, it's like, okay, all right, okay, I can see other professions being on Twitter, but it's like teachers being on Twitter, it's like, okay. Oh man, I wonder if any of my freaking teachers freaking were on Twitter when I was in high school secretly. It's like, oh man, but yeah, obviously her point is valid and is like correct, or it's like it sucks, man. It sucks that freaking there are just a growing number of people who are just like, yeah, no, it's fine if I just use AI for this little tiny assignment. It's like the assignment just says like write freaking like 300 words on something, and it may be right, and then it's like, and then a student's first instinct is to go to ChatGPT. It's like, that's sad, man. It really is. I don't know. Like, I don't want to use the frickin' Gen Z terminology, you know? It's like, but it's like, yeah, obviously it kind of is. You know, I like these professors of these classes want your words. They want authentic words written by humans, man. Even if you're not that confident in it, it's fine. Like, I feel like the professor will appreciate it infinitely more because it's your frickin' words, man. That's the thing. That's the thing. And a lot of those assignments are just about hitting word counts, let me just tell you. Oh man, you know. And even with essays, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't know. I guess, like, as someone who has done somewhat decently on freaking essays as assignments in the past, and like part of my you know, like, classes now are having to write essays, right? You know, I don't know. I think, like, yeah, I don't know. There's an interesting thing I have within myself. I don't know if I want to be fully freaking like open about it, but yeah, I don't know. I think it's like to like make it semi transparent, to make it translucent, I guess, in talking about it. I don't know. I think, like, the change I've had from my like teens to my 20s in terms of gaining like getting a passion for writing fiction, and having writing fiction being one of my main priorities now, right, in addition to school, right, is that, I don't know, like, I feel like the way I want to write essays now isn't, you know, 100%, you know, academic, you know? Like, I feel like there's a lot of times when I'm writing an essay for a school thing, right, where I'm like, I kind of somewhat want to write this in a voice, you know? I kind of want to write this in a semi, like, informal way, but it's like, I guess I have to, like, reconcile, like, yeah, there's a difference between, like, writing fiction and writing academically, you know? But I don't know. Like, you know, as someone who is reading a bunch of academic writing lately, like, it would be nice if, like, there were more academics who could write like fiction writers, in terms of, like, the voiciness, in terms of just not making it boring, for lack of a better term. Oh man, where are those people? But yeah, I don't know. Again, yeah, that's the side tangent of frickin' yeah, like, using AI to write frickin' essays. It's like, yeah, please, man. I do not, you know, I hate that, man. I hate that for whoever is doing it currently, whether it be people around my age or people younger, or even people older. Like, that's the thing. It's like I feel like a lot of people, like, think like, oh, it's just a bunch of people in their, like, freaking late teens, early 20s doing this. It's a college age students doing this. But, like, I don't know, like, I guess devil's advocate, like, what if it is someone who is going back to college in their 30s? Like, what if it is? Like, what if it is, like, someone taking, like a 101 or something level English class, and it's like the assignments are very just like, write this many words on this, write this many words on this. Like, what if it is just like someone, like, who's already, like, working like a full-time job, or like has, like, freaking kids of their own, right? Like, that's also, like, the thing, like, a thing to think about. Like, does being in that demographic automatically make using AI to write essays okay? It's like, no, obviously. Like, I'm definitively saying, like, no, but, like, is it a thing to consider, right? It's like, yeah, like, it's not. I wouldn't the vast majority are college age students, but maybe, you know, but what if it's like these what if it is older freaking people who are coming back to college or university to get degrees, you know? What if they just learned of this and are like, oh, is this thing now that you can use to make it easier? Oh, I guess I'll use that now. I don't know. Like, that's the thing. It's a thing to think about that I just came up with, I guess. I don't know, you know, there's a lot of, like, things, man. I don't know, like, when you transition from a community college to a university, you definitely see, like, less older, like, individuals in general, right? But I don't know, man, there was like a few, like, older, like, students, yeah, that I've seen, you know, in my freaking days, currently and in the past. So yeah. Oh man. Anyways, God, I went this far without going into the MNBA, man. It's so nice, isn't it? It's so nice. Outside of the intro, but yeah, I don't know. Should I say anything in regards? I guess I did freaking go on that Nuggets tangent, but yeah. Oh man, yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, man, the Nuggets won their championship, okay? They won their championship, and it's looking like they're probably not gonna have a dynastic run. But yeah, that's the thing too. That like I think like listening to the Hoop Collective over the offseason, like Tim Bontemps in particular has been like really hard on the Nuggets front office, right? Of just like, why aren't you willing to go into the second apron to re-sign KCP? Like, why aren't you willing to re-sign him? You know this is a freaking championship roster, and yet freaking Nuggets ownership, you know, is unwilling to freaking, you know, unwilling to re-sign KCP. And also the moves of like, why are you just immediately giving Jamal Murray a max contract, even though, even though like you've seen how he's playing for Team Canada? Why not just wait and see how he performs in the regular season? Like, why not negotiate, you know? I guess is like Tim Bontemps' opinion, you know? And I guess like, I mean, a lot of his points are fair and valid and are probably correct, but I don't know. I'm not as hard on Jamal Murray getting extended as him, you know, at like full max money, but it's like, I don't know. He's making like 50 million a year. and he has never made an all-star team, and is not gonna make an all NBA team anytime soon, probably, right? Like, that is like a thing. But also, you can't deny freaking him being instrumental in the Nuggets winning a championship in 2023. You can't deny that, right? Like, you honestly can't deny that. Like, he is a major reason why the Nuggets have that championship, okay? Like, he's a major reason why the Nuggets freaking swept the Lakers, you know, that season. He's a major reason why the Nuggets hoisted that championship trophy. So from that perspective, I think Jamal Murray is worth the money. But I don't know. If it's like this money is based on how we think you're gonna perform for us over the next few years, yeah, it is somewhat questionable. It is like scary, you know, to think like if Jamal Murray doesn't, you know, get back into, you know, playing decently well. But I don't know. Like, he just needs to be like generally good. He just needs to be like a tad below all-star caliber, right? Like, that's enough to get through the regular season. But it would be nice if Jamal Murray can, you know, play like an all-star caliber player in the regular season. But like, you've seen how he is in the playoffs, you know? It's just so interesting how, you know, like going into last season, like a lot of people are like, a lot of rankings are like, okay, so you have to put Jamal Murray like high up, right? Like, based on what he did in the playoffs. But like in the regular season, he doesn't perform. Like, he's not like an all-star caliber player. So like, how do you like rank him, man? How do you do that? Yeah. Yeah, it's, I guess, to go on the Nuggets, you know, I feel like this year's probably going to be a step back for them, you know, but maybe that could be a good thing. Maybe there's going to be a draft pick they get because of this that'll freaking make it all worth it, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, really, the story of the NBA this season is who is gonna beat the Celtics. That's basically number one in terms of the championship narratives. You know, it's like, who's gonna beat the Celtics? Who's gonna beat them? The Knicks with freaking Cat and Rudy Gobert, right? I do not think I talked about them getting traded. Yeah, with the Knicks with Cat. The Knicks with Cat at center, and then Cat got traded for Julius Randle. So Julius Randle's on the Wolves, and Dante DiVincenzo's on the Wolves, and Cat is on the Knicks. Major freaking trade that happened, I think, while I was gone away, doing some management. I'm not gonna say which type of management, but you know, oh man. Yeah, so basically, is it going to be the Knicks with Cat? You know, is that going to work out? Is it going to be the Sixers with their bet, you know, that I referenced? It's like their bet on just like, all we have to do is make sure He's healthy for the playoffs. That's all that matters, man. All we have to do is make sure, we're going to do everything we can. We're going to plan this meticulously. He is not, I am not going to play back-to-backs probably for the rest of my career. And then, like, so much, that he is out for the opening 3 games of the season, and they're 0-2 currently. But the Nuggets are also 0-2, so, I guess, I'm throwing stones in a glass house. It's fine, but, man, Embiid's probably not going to play in Denver in his career, right? Yeah, or for the rest of his career. It's fine, but, man. Like, that's the thing. Like, I want to be a Sixers hater. I'm going to be a Sixers hater this season, obviously. But it's like, I don't know. It's like I'm somewhat enjoying the drama, the like kind of drama surrounding all of this freaking Embiid plan to keep him healthy for the playoffs and miss back-to-backs, and like and like the whether him and Paul George are gonna be healthy by the time the playoffs start. But like, I don't know, man. Like, I want the Sixers to lose when they're fully healthy. I want them to have an embarrassing collapse when him, Embiid, and Paul George are fully healthy, okay? It's like, I don't know. Like, I guess, like, if you were to freaking, like, have it be, like, you could only pick one. Either injuries ruin the Sixers season, or they make it to the conference finals. That's a hard choice, man. It's a hard choice for my freaking hater self. It's hard, okay? It's hard reconciling it. It's hard. Like, on one hand, I don't want it to be a thing where it's like, oh god, injuries again. Like, I don't think Embiid does not deserve that to happen year after year after year. Like, he does not. But like, on the other hand, I don't want the Sixers to succeed as an organization. So like, what do I choose? Like, how do you be an ethical hater? Like, how do you hate in an ethical way? It's like, I don't want the Sixers to succeed. Like, that's the organization in pretty much in any sport. I don't know. I do not pay attention to the NFL other than for freaking like how it affects the show of First Things First. I don't care about that. In baseball, the World Series is going on. It's the Yankees Dodgers. I watched Game 1, a walk-off grand slam. It was cool. But like, I don't know. It's like, there's one organization that I'm like, okay, I do not want success for this organization, for this team, and it's the Philadelphia 76ers. It's somewhat the Lakers, but like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's not nearly as strong, though. Like the Lakers making the Western Conference Finals, that was somewhat annoying because like it was like the hype was somewhat building of like, oh, they could make the finals. If they faced the Heat, they could win. It's like, that was annoying somewhat. But the most annoying thing was that they were going up against Denver, and then a lot of people were thinking the Lakers could beat the Nuggets, right? That was the most annoying thing. But I don't know. Like, I want to hate on the Sixers. Like, I want to hate on the Sixers, but I want to do it if they're healthy, because it's like doing it when hating on them and just kicking them while they're down when freaking if they lose in the playoffs when players aren't healthy. It's like, okay, yeah, obviously they weren't expected to win. It's like, well, I don't know. Like, that's the thing too, it is plan. Like, if it doesn't work, like you could do all of this planning, you could do all of this, and then like a freak injury occurs, and then it's like, what happens then? Like, because that's what got Joel Embiid last season, right? It was a freak injury against the Warriors, right? I think it was Kuminga, like, on his leg, on his knee, right? And that's what, like, was the thing that led him to the meniscus surgery. It's like, I don't know, like, it's a bet, obviously, and it's like, you obviously take that bet. You obviously are willing to take that bet if it means a better chance at the Embiid being healthy by the time April comes around. But it's like, on the other hand, is like, what if what if Paul George also gets injured too during the season? Yeah, that's the thing. It's always just like, what if, obviously you can say like, what if with a lot of things, like, I don't know, like, like, what if there was a good adaptation of a John Green book, which I will get to in the future, in this episode. What if there was, what if frickin' April rolls around and the Sixers are the frickin' 8th seed, right? Like, what if they are just hanging around the 8th seed? It's like, and they have to win like a play-in game and then, be in a first round matchup against the Celtics. It's like, well, I don't like. That's the thing, man. I don't know. Man. It's hard, man. It's like, I guess what I'm trying to say, the plan isn't, what I'm trying to say is the plan isn't a guarantee, man. And that's like the scary thing if you root for the Sixers, man. It's a scary thing, man. It's, I don't know. Yeah. Man, like, what, like, I don't know. This is like another year of the Sixers just failing and like not making the conference finals, man. Like, I don't know, man. Like, will it totally be lifted? Will this, like, pressure totally be lifted if Embiid makes the conference finals this season, right? It'll just be like, okay, cool. I guess if they make the conference finals against the Celtics, right, it will be like, what could you have done? That was the best team, you know? I don't know. But maybe, like, maybe somehow the Celtics aren't going to be the best team in the league come frickin' the playoffs. It's, you know? It's either going to be them or OKC. Those are the biggest bets, right? Like, it could be Dallas or Minnesota in the West, right, as in the best team. But I'm betting on OKC being the best team in the West, and I'm betting on the Celtics being the best team in the East. But I'm not betting because I don't have a freaking FanDuel account, man. Like, I'm not actually betting. I'm predicting. I'm thinking about it really hard in a somewhat educated way. Oh man. Anyway, so yeah, that's basically the Sixers frickin' thing. Anything else? JJ Redick, as the head coach of the Lakers, seems to be better than their previous coach, who had his hands in his pockets all the time. Cool. Like, the time, yeah, like, the thing is that, like, I feel like it's so hard to turn my Sixers hate off, right? Like, the Sixers hate and like anti like Sixers freaking sentiment with me as a basketball fan for the past like 3 or so years, ever since the Ben Simmons thing, right? It's not because I have a special feeling about Ben Simmons. It's just that like the 2021 season was when I started like having this anti-Sixers sentiment. It had nothing to do with Ben Simmons, but you know, it's when I started loving the Sixers collapsing in the playoffs, okay? It was like a drug, okay? But yeah. But with the Lakers kind of thing, with my anti-Lakers sentiment, because that's like the only other team in the NBA I'm somewhat anti, but it's not nearly as strong as my anti-Sixers sentiment, you know? Like, cause like during like the time when the Lakers had Russell Westbrook, and you know, Russell Westbrook as a Nugget, maybe there's some results that aren't that have a lot left to be desired. But yeah, when Russ was on the Lakers, they were just losing a bunch of games, and I'm like, yeah, okay, all right, okay, this is getting to be, it's fun, but like on the other hand, it's like, how much more fun could it be? It stops being fun hating on the Lakers, you know? But yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'll be that much of a Lakers hater this season, but you know, if JJ Redick carries on this, and like the Lakers have like a 10-2 record and are on the top of the West for a significant period of time, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I really would like for this team to lose. Like that, like that's what that's gonna be. I'm just explaining my agendas, okay? Okay, if anyone needs to be clear, if anyone needs this for future reference, okay. If anyone needs this for my future reference, as of now, my Western Conference team is the Nuggets, okay? My Eastern Conference team are the Celtics, okay? The team in the West that I'm most anti towards are the Lakers. The team in the East, obviously, is the Sixers, okay? Like those are I only have 2 freaking, like, I do not like these teams succeeding. Those are the Lakers and the Sixers. And I'm, like, of the NBA, I'm mostly a fan of the Nuggets and the Celtics, okay? That's what I've chosen. That's how I've done it, you know? There's a little bit of like Suns like fandom in me, but like once like Katie and Bradley Beal became the team instead of DeAndre Ayton and Mikal Bridges, right? Like after that like Chris Paul like finals run, you know, in 2022, like I've somewhat waned off the Suns. Like the Suns are fine, they're cool, but like yeah, like the Suns are also a team that if you told me they're gonna win the West like however many months from now, like I'd be like, yeah, it somewhat makes sense. Yeah, there's a chance for the Suns to win the West, you know, way more than the Nuggets at this point, right? Yeah. So, yeah. But I am somewhat becoming like more and more of a fan of OKC. I just love those group interviews. I love how they bark. They're getting Alex Caruso to do it now. It's just so good, man. I don't know. I feel like every general NBA fan is just a fan of OKC. Although they have been getting called corny for those interviews previously. But I do like the beef that Thunder fans have with Luka. You know, it's so nice to see. Oh, man. So those are my agendas for the NBA, okay? I do not have any agendas for any other sport, okay? I really do not. Who do I want to win? Fury Usyk too. I want Usyk to win, but like, I don't know. It's hard in boxing to have like agendas, you know? I don't know. I don't think I've ever been like, I do not like this boxer at all. Yeah. I mean, really, like, you know, I think, like, as as any Filipino American or Filipino would, right? Watching Pacquiao growing up, right? It's like, yeah, I also have strong, fond memories of going to Mayweather fights because, like, those were the two fights. Those were the two fighters where my family, every pay-per-view involving either Pacquiao or Mayweather, we would watch, right? And it's like, yeah, we needed to watch Pacquiao win, and we needed to watch Mayweather lose, or try to see if Mayweather could lose. And that moment in 2010, or I think, yeah, that moment in 2010 when Shane Mosley landed that punch on Floyd in the third round, I think, in the third or fourth round. Oh man, that was a moment, man. Such a moment. Oh man. Do you ever just like, does any boxing fan just like rewatch that from time to time, and they're like, damn, dude, that's the cleanest freaking shot. Like, you know, like Maidana like has one, right? But like, yeah, the cleanest freaking shot ever landed on Floyd Mayweather, right? It's such a like, it speaks to just how great of a boxer Floyd was. That freaking, there's like a single digit amount of like really good clean shots landed on him that you can point to in his career. It's so like, I don't know, like, yeah, like that's the thing. I've only gained a way greater appreciation for just Floyd's talent as a boxer, you know, from, you know, the time since I was a kid, right? It's like he was freaking talented, man. Just his defensive freaking IQ, man, has like probably one of the highest like boxing ring IQs ever, you know, in history. It's like, yeah, that Shane Mosley shot though, like, yeah, I just like from time to time, I might just watch it after this. That from time to time, you just watch it. I'm like, damn. Oh man. Anyways. Yeah, should I just like quickly go into books I've read in the time off? Where was I even last time? Oh man, I'm trying to go backwards. Yeah. Oh god. Oh yeah. How did I not talk about that? Yeah, I need to give like 2-sentence freaking reviews of these books though. Oh man. What did I read before the one I'm thinking about right now? Man. Oh yeah, the Joy Luck Club. Yeah, I finished the Joy Luck Club. I talked about that. The book I'm reading, I read after the Joy Luck Club was the third Mercy Suarez book, and yeah, man, oh god, it was good. It was great. Obviously, it basically was in line with the whole series. It follows Mercy Suarez, a girl in middle school at Seaward Pines Academy, living in Florida with her Cuban family, and like her being kind of nerdy but like also into soccer, and like, you know, her brother Rolly in college, but like in this third book, like he's home from college, and like there's really good freaking stuff surrounding dad in the book, right? And like her grandfather who like is sick, and stuff happens in that regard. I'm obviously not gonna spoil it, but yeah, it was the finale. It is Meg Medina, I guess, said it was the final book in the Mercy Suarez trilogy, and yeah, it is sad that it is the final book, because I don't know, that basically it was like the biggest, like, yeah, in terms of like middle grade books. I don't know, I think like probably, yeah, the Mercy Suarez books are probably, yeah, and if you were to ask me what's my favorite middle grade book, it'd probably be one of those. It'd probably be like either like the first or second Mercy Suarez book. Yeah, I think I probably like the second the best, but yeah, it's like splitting hairs though. It's not like saying that, you know, like it was a good, it wrapped things up, you know. It was nice. There are characters you heard from and saw from like the first book, you know. It's nice. It's a nice middle grade book. It's what we need in these times, man. Just nice just nice stories filled with characters like as great as Mercy Suarez, man. And just like it is what makes books like that are what make middle grade such an enticing age category for me, you know. I think my taste in middle grade literature so far is like, just I want more books like Mercy Suarez, man. I want more books like that. That's basically it. That's basically, if you want me to like a middle grade book, just say like it's like Mercy Suarez, and I'll be like, okay, I'm in no matter what. I am freaking in. Oh man, it really does, like, I don't know, early on it somewhat takes me like there's sometimes when reading it where I'm like, yeah, this really, it feels like it's this generation's, you know, I guess like it's way too freaking it's way too, like, I don't know, what I'm trying to find a word. It's way too somewhat hyperbolic to say, but like somewhat weird to say, but like, I don't know, I do get similar feelings from reading the Mercy Suarez books than that I got reading the Ramona Quimby series back in the day, like back when I was in elementary school and early middle school. It's like, yeah, I don't know, it's just nice, man. It's just nice. I love Mercy Suarez. I love those books, man. I really love those freaking books, man. If you couldn't already tell. Man, there isn't really much in terms of, yeah, it's about her adventures in middle school. It's about freaking things that happen, man. There's stuff that happens. Sometimes they're really sad. Sometimes they can be really fun. But, you know, yeah, I wrote a whole blog post about it back when I did that. Man, yeah, like Mercy, you know, has her family, you know, like she lives really close to her family, you know, her aunt and uncle, their children who are twins, you know, she's close with. She's really, yeah, like in her grandfather and grandmother, her abuela and Lolo. It's like, yeah, it's great. There you go. Oh man. Okay, what did I read after that, man? I think I might have read something. Yeah. Oh no, I just read. Yeah, I think I just read. Yeah, I read this like tiny book. Yeah, it's called Turbulence. Yeah, it's a book basically. Yeah, it's a novel of stories, and it's really short. Yeah. So yeah, it's an adult fiction book, and it's a novel about. Yeah, it's written in the past like 10 years, so it somewhat breaks the rules I set out for. But yeah, it's about stories of people who go on flights to different places, and then yeah, it's basically just like a bunch of short stories. Basically, it's a novel that's a bunch of short stories about these people who go on planes to different places all over the world, like Budapest, like yeah, Seattle. London, Thailand, I think, like places in India, basically, and like those stories, you know, some of them are cool. I just used it as a bridge book. I think, yeah, I might be missing a book I'm reading. I might be, but yeah. After that, yeah, it goes into the book I'm currently reading right now, Dog Eaters by Jessica Hagedorn, who wrote another book called The Gangster of Love, which I talked about last year and I really enjoyed. It was listed on my favorite books I've read of last year, and Dog Eaters is gonna be on my favorite books I've read this year too, if I get around to finishing it, because oh my god, dude, yeah, just the way, the style, just I don't know, the style oozes out of the page, man. I don't know. I'm reading it, I'm just like, why can't freaking more adult fiction be like this, you know? Like, I understand that, like, I just need to seek it out. It's like when everyone on social media who says like, why can't there be more stories, like, it's like, usually there are. Obviously it doesn't mean that there's like a whole lot of them, but usually there are examples that you're thinking of, like, why aren't there more stories, like, why aren't there books like, you know, Why isn't there a book where, you know, it's like, yeah, obviously, but I don't know. I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, it's about basically just like telling stories about people in Manila, basically. Like the way it's written, it's somewhat like, yeah, it doesn't have a main protagonist. It's basically like, with the way Jessica Hagedorn has written this book, Dog Eaters, is that it just takes place in Manila. Manila in the Philippines is the setting of the book, and it's just assorted stories from the perspectives of the characters that live within this like semi-fictional but also semi-real version of Manila that freaking Jessica Hagedorn has created, you know. And it's extremely like hip. There's a lot of American references to it, you know. It's like it just has like style, like like oozing out of it. Like I said, you know, like, you know, yeah, like it, like in one sentence, you like she could be talking about like pinakbet, the freaking Filipino dish. In another sentence, she could be talking about freaking like the book could go into like American like blues singers or something, like Elvis Presley, or, you know, I don't think Jimi Hendrix has been mentioned yet. I think that's after the book takes place. But yeah, like American movie stars, like, yeah, are like mentioned and referenced in the book too. It's just a mishmash of freaking like Filipino culture and American culture, and it's really cool. It's really great, and it's also cool that it's telling the lives of like mostly like rich people, like upper class people in the Philippines, because I really don't often see stories like that. And again, I know there are examples of that in books probably, but yeah, it's nice that like I'm reading a book that takes place in Manila, because, you know, I think like Chloe and the Kaishao Boys took place in Manila, but yeah, like I just really appreciate that. Yeah. that and there's also a book that takes place in the Philippines, and it's not a major like underlying current of it isn't like this is an impoverished area. Like I would think there's you know, I would think there's some of that in this book, right, that I'm gonna read about, but like mostly it's about the lives of like well-to-do, like rich, like Filipinos like living in Manila. And it's nice, you know. It's really cool. Yeah, like one chapter is just like like I think like a speech from William McKinley. You know, like I don't know. It's somewhat epistolary in that regard. Like there's a chapter that goes into like Filipino like basically teleserjes, right? And it's like, and it just like it shows you like the plot. Yeah, it like gives you like the script of like the plot of like one of them, or like a Filipino like radio drama, right? It gives you like the plot of one of those. Like I don't know, like, yeah, like she came up with like fake like Filipino actors and actresses. There's this like movie studio called Mabuhay Studios in it. It's like, it's just like, I don't know, man. It's just rife with freaking Filipino culture in such a fresh like way, man. I don't know. I can't believe it came out in 1990, right? Like in 1990, man. I don't know. Like the goal again, like from the core principles I set, right? Of like mostly like the adult fiction books I like, Diaspora, mostly released in like the 70s, 80s, 90s, probably 2000s, basically like pre-2010. Like diaspora authors, mostly freaking white American authors, you know. Man, like covers that aren't how they are now for like most like adult fiction books, right? I don't know, it's like really cool. I'm really enjoying it. When I finish it, it's probably gonna be in one of my favorite books of the year. So yeah. Man. I guess I probably need to take a little bit of a break before the Twitter segment. So yeah, and surprisingly, my voice hasn't gone out yet. My voice is not freaking that scratchy. Wow, look at that. And I've gone for like a while. I've gotten to a lot, right? Yeah, I'll get into the other stuff I need to get into on the other side, I guess. Instead of a commercial break, it's a cut. It's so nice, isn't it? Okay, so I guess on the other side of this will be whatever I need to talk about, and then the Twitter segment. Okay, so on to what I was gonna talk about next. Yeah, I guess I teased it. Yeah. What if there was an adaptation of a book and there was a film adaptation of that book? Yeah. Adaptation of a young adult novel into film that I have watched recently, which would be a surprise when you consider that it's still running now, that I do not watch things anymore. It's, I don't know, it is somewhat, yeah, I don't know why. I really do not know why. I'm going to watch just things in general soon, but yeah. I have decided to watch a thing, you know. I watched a film. Yeah, I watched a film that actually came out this year. Yeah, on streaming, but yeah. I don't think it's on streaming now, but like it's just so weird how that works, man. The way like HBO Max, formerly, like takes down like films that you see listed, right? You don't even get any freaking notice of like, hey, we're taking this down. It's so weird, right? It's so weird how it's like we put this film on and then like a month later it's off. It's done. It's like, what? Like, okay. Well, I don't know, man. It really, you know, it's just not worth that money, man. It's just not worth it, man. But yeah, I saw this film, True Utter Means. You can figure it out on your own. But yeah, it was the best adaptation of a novel by this guy called John Green. It was like objectively probably the best film adaptation of one of his books that I've seen, right? There's only been, yeah, three, right? But yeah. Man, Turtles All the Way Down. It's really, yeah, it was really good, you know? But I had a tweet about it vaguely, being vague about it, not wanting to name names for some reason. But yeah, that was the film I saw. Yeah. But like, I don't know, like going into it, I was like, how are they gonna like adapt this, you know? Because like the thing I like about the book, you know, and I think like it goes into a larger conversation that I guess I want to get into, but I don't know. Like the thing I like about the book is that it's just so internal. It's so like, it like, and I think that's also the advantage of literature in general over film, right? Is that like you can't really have a film when you're like mostly in a character's head, right? You have to use a lot of narration, right? And I don't know, I guess like, you know, stylistically like it might not work out, but I don't know, like I felt like the film adaptation of Turtles All the Way Down was really good. Like not many people are gonna notice it, not many people are gonna care because it's a young adult book and it was only on streaming, wasn't in theaters, right? But like, I don't know, like I appreciated it. I liked it. It was cool. So yeah, basically, do I need to explain the plot of the book? You know, oh man, it's about a girl. It's basically about this girl Aza, and she's in high school, and she has these obsessive freaking thoughts that keep on gnawing at her, particularly about bacteria, right? And like that in and of itself is a very like large barrier in terms of her like, you know, like functioning. You know, and you see that throughout the film, right? And like I don't know, like yeah, that's one of the ways like I'm like, how are they gonna like show this on screen? Like how are they gonna like translate like Aza's introspection into film, right? And they do mostly a good job. Obviously, like I prefer the book, right? Like I'm going into it, I prefer the book. I still prefer the book. It's still like the book is a superior way of consuming that story for me, right? But like it does a decent job, right? Like it does, like there's like these like cuts like to images of bacteria, and like it's like the sound, it goes staticky or whenever like it goes into one of Oz's freaking tots and her tot spirals, and like there's this like narration she does right in her head, I guess, that like somewhat like illustrates the point. Yeah. It was the most well done in a scene later on in the film where she's in a hospital, right? Like that was the scene. But like also it just made me think of like in the book, that was like a great scene. That was like one of the best freaking things I read from freaking this particular author, right? Ever, right? It's just like the whole like how freaking inside your head she was, you know? Like I think like an element of like Turtles All the Way Down, like the book, like I feel like it's it's just like John Green just being like, okay, you are gonna be stuck in freaking Oz's head whether you like it or not. You, the reader, are gonna be freaking reading every freaking thought she has and every impulsive, obsessive freaking thought she has about bacteria, and you are gonna be stuck in here, man. It's not gonna be a fun experience for you. You're just gonna be freaking there being stuck reading it, you know? Like, that's what it feels like, but I don't know. It doesn't necessarily feel that, like, restricted, like that, like constrictive in the film, but it does a pretty good job. It captures the spirit, basically. That's a phrase I've been using recently in terms of adaptations, right? Man, something that did not capture the spirit of its original work was the Uzumaki adaptation Adult Swim did of Junji Ito's manga, and it's like, can we, like, maybe the lesson is we should stop trying to adapt Junji Ito's freaking work. Maybe his work should only be manga, okay? It's fine. It's fine to appreciate manga for manga, and that's it, you know? Like, I think, like, that's also a thing anime fans need to freaking learn, right? And I need to learn in general, too. But I don't know. Like, as for the Turtles All the Way Down film, it did a pretty good job at capturing the spirit of the book. And, like, you know, like, whenever it came to Oz's thoughts and her spiraling, you know, it did a mostly good job. The real highlight of it is like seeing like her and her best friend Daisy interact. It's so nice, man. The one scene they like the scenes in the hospital in the latter half of the movie, they nail, right, in my opinion. And like the scene in the car, like during a confrontation between Ozzy and Daisy was so good, man. Like that fully captured the spirit of it too, right? Those were like the two highlight scenes for me of the film. So like, yeah, those two scenes are really well done. I also just love how like the story in general is about like, you know, a person's like mental illness, like handicapping them, and like being a real struggle for them. But on the other hand, it's like your mental illness also does not mean that you're excused from being a bad person, you know? I really like that. I just, you know, like that's the thing, you know, that Twitter, I guess, is trying to tell people, but, you know, like, I think like this film does a really good job at illustrating that, you know, to people who might not be fully freaking aware, right? It's like, yeah, like you see how this is impacting Ozza, but like, you know, Ozza's not a freaking flawless person outside of that too, right? It's like, yeah, like that's the thing. Those are things like she needs to learn to deal with, you know. Like, but we don't like consider that, you know. We don't, you know, the way we freaking think about, you know, people with with mental illnesses like that, I guess. Oh, man. But you know, obviously, like if you're on the internet, like there's the stories of people either, you know, using the mental illnesses they have in ways, you know, obviously, but you know, it's cool seeing it in a film like that. Anyways, yeah, I talked about the scenes I most enjoyed. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it's an excuse for me to talk about Turtles All the Way Down and why I love why that's probably the best John Green book, John Green young adult novel he'll ever write. Because yeah, right now, yeah, he has a book coming out about tuberculosis. Yeah, it's a non-fiction book. The book he wrote before that was just called, it was a The Anthropocene Reviewed, and it was just like him like reviewing a bunch of things related to like humanity. Like, I don't know, like Long Walks on the Beach, I would rate like 4 stars, you know, something like the stuff like that, you know. Pizza, I would rate 5 stars. I don't know. I would think you would rate pizza 5 stars. Oh, man. I don't know. I guess like in order, yeah, I don't know. Like one thing, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like the one thing obviously that I keep on touching on is just like missing like the absolute like immediacy of like the prose, you know, like, and why I feel like, you know, I don't know, in general, the larger conversation of I just appreciate literature for literature, and I don't feel like that every good book I read is like, and I'm like, oh, that needs to be adapted. That would work so well as a film, right? Like, I don't know, like they're just books I just love for being books, you know? They're just like, I think like that's the thing I've learned over the past few years. They're just books and stories I love for being books and stories, man. Like I love Eliza and Her Monsters, man. Would I think it would be a good adaptation, right? It's like, maybe. There's also another book like related to OCD. Yeah, like Every Last Word, right? A very important book to me. Like in the young adult sphere, right? It's like, do I need to see that adapted? It's like, probably not. Like, I don't know. I like the fact that there are just books and stories that just remain books and stories. I like Catcher in the Rye, most namely, right? It's like Catcher in the Rye most recognizably, but it's like, I don't know. Yeah, like the stuff missing from Turtles All the Way Down in the film of it is just the immediacy of the prose and the immediacy of freaking being in Az's head. Like, because obviously when you're reading a book, you feel like you're just there. You're in Az's head so freaking directly. You're in her head so directly as freaking she does these things that are just so bad, you know, related to, yeah, which are at the end of the day related to her fear of freaking bacteria that, like, you know, manifests itself in these compulsive thoughts, you know. Man. And also, like, the title of the book, yeah, I think it changed. Yeah, I don't know, I have to go back to the book, you know. I might have to see it in the book again, but I think, like, they changed, like, how the title of the book is, like, said. Yeah, because in the film she a professor at Northwestern says it, right? But I think in the book, Daisy says it. Yeah, her best friend says it. Yeah, so, you know, that's an interesting change. And also another interesting change is that, yeah, is yeah, like, one big thing was when there's this whole, like, freaking B plot, but the B plot is actually the romance of the book, where freaking, like, Ozza and Daisy somewhat try to solve the mystery of, like, where the love interest's freaking dad, who's a billionaire, went. like but in that, yeah, like, I don't know, like, that's obvious. Yeah, that's like the weakest part of the story for me. But, like, God, was I gonna say that? Yeah, it was like, yeah, a moment in the story. A moment in the story that I just remember so fondly when reading the book back in 2018 was when Ozza and the love interest, like, first freaking kiss, right? And, like, you're just in Ozza's head as they're doing it, right? And just the way the words just freaking, like, go from, like, her inner thoughts to just, like, to just, like panic, right? Like, you see it in the prose, man. Like, that's just such an advantage of reading the book over watching the film, right? Yeah, like, just seeing, like, the words. Like, I remember just, like, the way, like, it's written, right? It's all like, it just like I think, like by the end of it, it's not fully formed sentences. It's just words just being like, stop, just, oh my god, stop. Like, something like that. Just like her own head being, like, warning her and just being like, this is freaking bad, this is bad. Just, you know, I don't know. That's just, like, a moment I just remember so fondly from reading it in my high school library back in 2018. A true, honest thing. I'm not lying about that. Like, yeah, it's like, yeah, just the immediacy of the prose I keep on mentioning. Yeah, just I like that about novels, you know, as I've come to know. I don't know. I guess that's also somewhat of an explanation of, like, why I'm not watching that many TV shows or movies, you know. It's just like, I guess I like to think of myself as like, oh yeah, I like freaking reading more than watching stuff, but I don't know. I mean, the number one thing I'm always gonna watch is basketball. Okay, like, you know, maybe not every game. I'm not a League Pass person, but, like, watching basketball is good. You know, I like that. But I don't know, in terms of just, like, watching any old freaking show, you know, other than freaking Breaking Bad, and Better Call Saul, like, it's hard, man. It's hard for me to get up. You know, maybe I should watch The Bear. I don't know. Oh man, it's like, are you saying, like, I have to freaking watch this freaking film to be in on the freaking cultural conversation? It's like, come on, man. Like, really? Like, I do? Like, can't they just read a freaking adult fiction book by a diaspora author that came out in 1990 in order to be in on the freaking cultural conversation on Twitter? It's like, can't they just freaking film a TikTok where I show the Dog Eaters or The Gangster of Love, and I'm like, top books by Filipino authors, and like cut it really fast and put some freaking music behind it. It's like, I don't know. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know. Just, I don't know. I guess that's cool. Anything else in that regard, man? Yeah, music. I haven't really been listening to anything new. I know what Hot to Go sounds like, and I know what a bar song Tipsy sounds like. Oh man, yeah. Again, it's like Morgan Wallen, man. Yeah, carrying on from me playing like this Rage Before the Storm. It's like, why? What's up with Morgan Wallen? Why have we allowed him to freaking be this dominant in the country charts, man? Like, why? Man, it sucks. But anyways, I think I have to move on to the Twitter segment. So yeah, here is the Twitter segment. All right, starting off here. Many a true nerd tweeted, putting aside the mold, if my parents sent me to school with a box containing a cold mini pizza with a smear of tomato sauce and unmelted cheese on it, I would work under the assumption that my parents didn't love me. That's the most pathetic excuse for a pizza I've ever seen. And it's absolutely true, man. Dude, the freaking Lunchable pizza, man. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, Lunchables in general is such a, like, a freaking, like, insane concept, you know? It's like, what if we just, instead of lunch, we give the semblance of lunch, you know, to school children? But it's like, I don't know, it's weird how, like, Lunchables were, like, somewhat still are the freaking, like, if you need lunch for a school field trip, like, here you go, you know? Like, that was it for me when I was in school. It's like you're going on a field trip, instead of packing something, you know, maybe there are times when you could get lunch on the field trip, but, like, that was the objective, like, okay, if you're going on a field trip, you get Lunchables, but I never got that Lunchable, though. But there were, like, kids in elementary school who ate that shit, and it's like, that's just, how? Like, why are your standards for children that low, man? Like, why? Like, that pizza was disgusting. It was absolutely freaking disgusting, man. The only good part, yeah, the good parts of freaking Lunchables are when they have, like, a tiny freaking little Nestle Crunch bar freaking in the corner, or have, like, an Oreo in the corner, right? Like that. Like, the only half decent Lunchables, because obviously most of Lunchables is horrid and should not be freaking served and should not be a thing. It should not be legal. But like the decent Lunchable is like the ham and cheese crackers, or like the turkey something crackers, you know? Like I didn't eat the cheese, but like I just ate ham and crackers and Ritz crackers. And even that is just like, that's just a sad excuse for lunch, man. It's so bad. Oh man. Anyways, I guess I might cut this, I might not. Yeah. People born in 2006 are 18 years old. Very disturbing. You should be 8. Oh, man. And those people can vote in this upcoming election. Wow. Huh. Just a quick reminder to everybody before the NBA season starts that basketball is not that important. What's important is your agendas. See? You need to push your agendas about basketball. Your basketball agendas are everything, and you live and die by your agendas. That's the thing, yeah, being like player haters or player stands, being team haters, team stands, I don't know. I love it in the NBA that it's so like, since like it's more player like focus, right? That like there are people who are like, I'm a Shea guy, I'm a Luka guy, instead of like I'm a Mavs guy or a Thunder guy. Like there's people who just like want to see their player be good no matter which team they're on. It's so nice. I don't know if there's many freaking like Dame freaking stands who've latched onto the Bucks. I don't know. Wait, boys play basketball? Apparently there's this thing called the MNBA and it starts tonight. Do people really watch that? Oh man. Yep. Instagram isn't fun anymore. No one is stopping you from posting the Caesar salad you had for lunch, or the colorful tree you walked past on your way to work. Subway to work, maybe, if you live in New York City. You just think you won't pull any likes, which is what you're actually mad at. Yeah. I don't know with Instagram. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, I don't, yeah. I think like it's a thing that like some people have to learn, that like that like if you post on Instagram, like are you posting it for yourself or are you posting it for likes, you know? And I guess like it took me a tiny bit, a while since I created an Instagram account back when I was freaking 14 or 13, right? Like I didn't post when I was in high school. My first actual post on an Instagram account I created when I was 13 was in 2022. 22 when I was 21. So I don't know. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I think for me, I'm just like, I just want somewhat of a record, you know. I want somewhat of a record of things of like, yeah, whenever I go to a concert, I freaking post dad. Whenever, you know, I collect a bunch of books and I'm like, here's what I read recently. Yeah, that's basically all I use Instagram for. And I honestly do not freaking care about any sort of likes or whatever. Feel like there's a correlation between why a lot of art feels so stagnant and the fact that it's mainly rich kids that are the only ones getting to be filmmakers, writers, singers, etc. It's boring because people who have nothing to say are doing the talking. Yeah, I'd assume it's been that way for a while. Yeah, it would be nice to see like more people from outside that perspective, you know. It's hard, yeah, it's hard when it's like everyone is always just freaking, but like it doesn't mean that because you come from a privileged background that freaking you can't tell good stories or make good art, you know. It doesn't necessarily mean that, but yeah, I totally get like what the person tweeting is saying. It's just you want more like perspective. Yeah, like it feels like all of this art is being made by people who have this kind of background, you know. A very annoying thing about the Saudi takeover of boxing is fights like Bivol Beterbiev, yeah, which Beterbiev won, by the way. That was for the undisputed light heavyweight championship, and like Beterbiev won, and like a lot of people are saying Bivol got robbed, but like it was also somewhat of a close fight. So like, you know, yeah, but yeah, I have the full fight is posted by Turki Al-Sheikh, so I maybe should see it. So yeah, yeah, fights like Bivol Beterbiev should have a world-class atmosphere and not in some soulless arena in Riyadh. Yeah, like that's also the thing. Yeah, it's cool that like whoever this person Turki Al-Sheikh is, you know, he's like he had one time with Dubois and AJ that Riyadh season came to London, right? And there was a whole show in London at Wembley, right? And like his money allowed that to happen rather than like Money Matchroom or freaking, you know, Queensbury, Frank Warren's freaking thing, a promotion company put up. But I don't know. That's the thing about like, it seems that like people have just accepted, like boxing fans have accepted that Saudi Arabia is a boxing like hotbed now just because like that's where the money is, you know, and that's where freaking the money currently is gonna be held for these events to happen. But I don't know. It would be nice if we didn't have every freaking major boxing event, you know, at freaking Saudi Arabia. It would be nice. But I don't know. I don't know what we would have to do in order to take it out of Saudi Arabia. I don't know. It's just weird that like 2019, yeah, with the rematch of AJ and Andy Ruiz, right? Like that was the first time where a major boxing match took place in Saudi Arabia that I know of. It's like they were looking for a neutral site because they didn't want to have it in the US, right? They couldn't really do it in the UK. It's like we're looking for like it could be in the US, it could be in the UK, right? Like Eddie Hearn was teasing. It's like the 3 locations we have, and then freaking like it's like, oh, Saudi Arabia came in, and then ever since then, yeah, the past 5 years, like how things have changed. Yeah. Why are grape flavored things always flavored after the purple grape? Why doesn't the green grape get any love? Green grapes, man. Oh god. Another miniature nerd tweet. Clearly, I just spent too long as a classicist, but I cannot conceive of reading the Save Bay ending, B-A-E, ending of Life is Strange 1 as anything other than a tragedy. Max either loses Chloe now, or saves her at such a high cost that no relationship could possibly survive the guilt it would generate. Oh my god, dude. I'd assume like a bunch of people reply, yeah, a bunch of freaking like Life is Strange fans who are hard on freaking Max and Chloe like shipping, yeah, like replied to that. But yeah, I don't know, I guess I just liked it because it was, yeah, just, yeah, I don't know, just I think people who ship Max and Chloe, do they think of that thing though? Like, do they think of that like maybe they just drift apart anyway? Like I'm sure there's fanfics on that, but it's like, what if they just break up anyway? Like, what if they just like look, Max, Chloe, like we were childhood friends. friends, but like, I don't know, man. It doesn't mean that like Rachel and Chloe couldn't have done the same thing, but like, oh man, I don't know. Like playing the ending of Before the Storm, episode 1 again, and just how freaking Rachel was just like, let's run away, let's do it right now. Oh man, I don't know, it just feels different to how like Max and Chloe operate. I don't know, it feels different, and I hope, I might finish freaking Before the Storm, but yeah, I think like the next Life is Strange thing I'll upload in this month, before the end of this month, will be the new game, hopefully, but I don't know. MFs get a MacBook and all of a sudden they got work to do in public places. Suddenly, yeah. I have not splurged on that. I probably will not get a MacBook because like why like what honestly is the reason to get a MacBook over just a general laptop, right? It's like it's hundreds upon hundreds of dollars less, man. Like you could get a decent freaking pretty good laptop like used for like 300, right? Like that's decent enough, right? I don't know. Like I remember the laptop I got after I graduated high school. Yeah, I got an HP laptop with a Pentium processor, which is like below i3 and i5 and all that. It's below i3 but above Celeron, if you know that freaking name. If you're aware of that name. Yeah, I remember I'm like, oh, a Pentium processor. That's so good, right? Oh god. And then like I remember it was from Walmart, surprisingly, and it was under 200. Yeah, it was like 180. Yeah. I remember when that was one of my biggest purchases, man. Such a nice time. Obvious observation about the kids these days: don't read novels, Tang. By and large, adults don't either. They really don't. Yeah. I don't know, man. I really like, I don't know. Like, I have this thing I talk about a few times, like once every few episodes of like, when are just the boys gonna get together? A group of like young males aged like in their early 20s getting together to read novels, right? Like how many of them get together and they're like, yeah, have you read any good freaking novels lately? Like I'm talking about fiction. Yeah, like in terms of fiction, like what do freaking young men read? Like if they do read, like I don't know, like I would like to think my reading like tastes are like somewhat unique for someone my age. Like it's like going from reading the Joy Luck Club to Mercy Suarez. It's like, yeah, like I don't want to be like I'm so special or anything, but again, just like when I talked about freaking yeah, Are You There God, It's Me Margaret way back then, it's like, I don't know, I somewhat feel like that. It's like, I don't know, man, I don't think there's many guys my age who are just like, yeah, man, I'm just gonna read the Joy Luck Club, bro. I'm reading the Joy Luck Club, bro. bro like when Waiting in the Trees, like that story, man, with Ying Ying St. Clair, bro. It's like no one's like that, man. I don't know, do I want more people to be like that? Probably. Oh man, I don't know. It's a thing just to think about. What kind of music do you like? What do you like to cook? I'm sorry, I don't know. I just don't know. The conversation about AI begins and ends. Yeah, I talked about this. Yeah, the SpongeBob episode, King Neptune, the Krabby Patties. That clip of Shaq talking to Angel Reese is nasty, bro. Yeah, there was a bad clip of Shaq on a podcast with Angel Reese recently, where Shaq just like said something to the effect of like, you should have dunked in those freaking, if you were wearing like shorts, if you were wearing those shorts you wore in this thing, yeah, basically just, basically sexually harassing her on a podcast, and yeah, that's bad. Not good, man. Probably something you'll have to apologize for. Oh man. Not to be a boomer, but filming shows for TikTok has destroyed concerts. Halsey's release show? Yeah, Halsey? Something, I don't know. It just, yeah. Don't necessarily need to read the end of that tweet. Don't cry because it's over. Attack everything around you. Whoever named a grapefruit when there was already a fruit named grape. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, God. Yeah, JJ Redick, there's a post-game thing at JJ Redick Don't let politics destroy friendships. If you genuinely believe a kid goes to school as a boy and comes home 8 hours later as a girl because he had transitional gender surgery in the nurse's office, we're not gonna be friends. That's pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much it for me, yeah. Angel Reese learned a painful lesson about Mantrue Shack in real time. Oh, man. Oh, man. What? Yeah, there's a picture of the walk-off grand slam in the World Series. Yeah, there's some unappealing thing in here. I think, yeah, it's like this would be an all-time photo, but there's a very glaring and unappealing thing that has ruined it. I'm trying to find it right now. Oh, yeah, look, I see it. Oh my god. Oh man, I'm not, I'll just leave that to the imagination, man. It's fine. Joel Embiid tweeted about the World Series, that World Series game yesterday. Bases loaded, grand slam, Jesus Christ. And then, yeah. There was another quote tweet that said, like, bro is shocked to learn that freaking a player has shown up for the playoffs. But that's the thing. That's what the Sixers are trying to do, man. That's what they're trying to do. Oh, man. Somebody should make a movie everyone likes. There are people who dislike Forrest Gump? I don't know. Despite the 0-3 record, I find myself feeling good about the Pistons. Especially impressive surviving an inefficient Cade to nearly beat Boston, yeah. Hopefully Cade gets some freaking attention, man. I don't know. It's weird. Man. Yeah, Tim Bontemps is tweeting. It's been an encouraging start to the season for Detroit despite going 0-3. Close losses to 3 playoff teams. Yeah. JB Bickerstaff is their coach now. Man. Man, the job market is so crazy. I received a rejection email from a company I never applied to. He said, don't even think about it. Well, suddenly my freaking Twitter feed is so good now. Wow, look at that. I'm on a mission to make my bed the comfiest thing on earth. Does anyone have tips? Oh, man. Oh, God. Something, yeah. Yoshinobu Yamamoto. He's pitching here. Non-Jokic minutes looking like me and the guys at the Y. Oh, God. Non-Jokic minutes, man. Jesus. Lazy Town is this extremely weird zeitgeist of internet culture. Yeah. You are a pirate. We are number one. It's a piece of cake to make a pretty cake. Oh, my God. I don't know. It's weird how, like, it just became a meme in, like, around 2016. It's weird how that happened. I don't know. Wearing a wire for 12 years is insane. He put that MFer on everything. I don't know what that's referring to. Angel Reese's 8K monthly rent, a decent deal in Chicago. Okay. I've never seen anything like this with any other women's basketball player. Angel Reese is going to be here for a long time. Yeah, there's like been like things of like the Angel Reese doesn't know how to manage her money. She's having problems trying to pay her rent. It's like okay, please. It's like the whole judging judging Angel Reese for everything, man. It's just it really does suck, man. God, I'm just like I just don't know when this is gonna happen again. Can we all agree that third world street vendors are not actually impressive? What? If you get sick from a street food vendor, it is because you approached a meal with malice in your heart, and God is punishing you for your evil ways. I would try street food. I would try frickin' street food on the Philippines, man. On the Philippines, in the Philippines. Oh, man. Anything else? I'm so scared to watch the Angel Reese interview with that big-ass man. Oh, God dang it, man. Anything else? Like, man. Anything else, please? Yeah, Devin Haney is tweeting. What? He don't have a chin? Talking about Regis Prograis? Oh. Eddie Hearn on the status of the Arthur Beterbiev versus Bivol rematch. His Excellency has told us the rematch is on. Oh, man. I wonder what that first meeting between Turki Al-Sheikh, His Excellency, they have to call him, Turki Al-Sheikh and Eddie Hearn. Like, what was that first meeting like? Of just like, I want to stage an event. I want to stage this big-ass boxing match. I don't know. Chelsea, Sue, Waylon, Tasha, Brienne, Sloot, pretty much traditional point guards that won within the past 10-ish years or so. Don't let this infatuation with offense make you lose sight of the goal. Yeah, you need like traditional point guards. Yeah, it's nice seeing just a traditional point guard, man. Yeah, those are my favorite. Yeah, ones. I feel like if I have a player archetype I really like seeing, I just like seeing a pure Chris Paul, Chelsea Gray in the WNBA, just a pure freaking point guard who runs the offense. That's what I want to see, man. Preferably someone who's short, like I would love to see someone who's 6 feet tall or 6'1", just being a point guard, man. And that's it. But I also like Steve Nash is kind of like that too. Man. Yeah, a lot more Angel Reese tweets. Yeah. UConn beating Hype House allegations. Actually, they're all Jays posting ads. Probably because it's almost season. Man. Okay. Anything else I want to get to before I freaking end the episode? What am I gonna do for the next episode? Oh man, yeah, I'm thinking of doing something special November 5th. Oh god. Look, man, I have an idea. If I do it, I don't know. But I don't know. I don't know. I will have 100th episode of this series. I think it'll be sometime in November. I don't know when. But yeah, maybe I can specially record another episode really quickly because I can render really fast now. But I don't know. No guarantees, man. I don't know. I also want to get the first episode of that New Life is Strange game. Yeah, not the entire episode or chapter of the game, just a part of it. I'll play it for an hour, then forget about it for a year, because that's how I am with video games. It really is a thing that I just like spend all this money, and it's like I know that I'm not gonna be freaking using this. Not that there's any real games to use it on other than freaking Starfield or as College Football 25, the only actual next gen games out there, right? It's like. Man, because Spider-Man 2, yeah, was previously exclusive to PS5, is now going to be on PC. It's like, I don't know, man. It really is just like, I don't know. Again, I just don't feel the need. I got an Xbox not due to console superiority or anything like that. It's just because it's the cheaper option for having a next-gen console, okay? That's really the only reason I got it, okay? And also the fact that I wanted to play this Minecraft Xbox One Edition disc on this console and have the benefits of it. And yeah, I don't know. It's weird how like this game is because like it got taken off the Microsoft Store, right? Like the game digitally got taken off the Microsoft Store. So that's like a point in terms of like maybe we should care more about physical media being preserved, right? Like if I didn't have this disc, like I wouldn't have a way to play it, right? Like I wouldn't be able to get it again, Which is why, like, as the 360 store was closing back in July, like, I made it a point a little bit before then to get the digital version of Minecraft from there, right? Like, I paid, like, $20 for that. So, like, I have it backed up. I have Minecraft in console in three forms. I have it on Xbox One. I have it on a 360 that I bought this year. That also was around $100, and I have it on my original 360 too. So hopefully, before I ever have to freaking go back to PC, I'll have these avenues to play Minecraft on console. So yeah, even if it's freaking a worse version and I can't, update it, even if it is, I don't care, man. I still want to play it on this version. I feel comfortable here. I can use a controller and it's cool, and on a whim I can switch to freaking Red Dead Redemption and have it be cool, man. I can freaking switch to Red Dead Redemption anytime I want, and that's cool. I could go back to here and it's freaking cool, right? The power of freaking technology. Anyways, this has gone on for way too long. It's gone on, yeah, almost 2 hours. Not my longest recording, but yeah. It's probably going to be a pretty long one. I would not think I had that much to cut. Yeah, I've talked about a lot, right? Yeah. I went into my usual things, okay? So, yeah, I'll talk about more stuff later on. More stuff that probably is not that important in the grand scheme of things, but they're important to me. Anyways. Yeah, I will reach 100 by the end of this year, I promise. So, anyways, that's basically it for this episode. Maybe I'll finish that freaking actual gameplay project. I don't know. I'm just gonna do it off camera. Yeah. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this episode, and see you on the next one.